What happens when a king's obsession with fashion leads him to be hilariously duped by a cunning tailor? In this engaging retelling of The Emperor's New Clothes, we dive into a classic fairy tale that unveils the dangers of vanity and the power of truth through humor and social critique. Join us as we explore the themes of deception, pride, and the fearless honesty, revealing why this timeless narrative continues to resonate in today's world.
The Emperor's new clothes, the royal tailor Mr. Hall had premises on Savile Row where the king would often call. At least a dozen times a day he'd strut along the street. His passion was for gorgeous sutures, fur boots for his feet, with waistcoats bright and lined with thread of silver and of gold. The palace gleamed with wealth untold, where fashion was extolled. Valet stood at every door ready to assist, to hang the king's majestic robes or tend to any twist. But clothes, you see, are dangerous things, especially for the rich. This king had turned to madness fast, his mind had made a switch. His clothes came first, his people last, a tragic shallow tale. One valet left a gravy spot and so was hung by tail. Another failed to spot a speck of dust upon a sleeve. Boiled alive, the poor soul died, a fate none could believe. And one who left a pinch of snuff upon a velvet cuff was minced within a horrid machine, his end was sure enough. Oh, what a beastly wicked king, his people longed to fight. And so the smartest of them all devised a plan one night. The brainiest of the brainy men inside a secret den declared, I've got a cunning plot, we'll fix him, gentlemen. They paid a visit to the shop, the tailor on Savile Row. They told him of their wicked scheme and whispered soft and low. The plan was laid, arrangements made, the snow began to fall. And every day the king would ski, his madness known to all. He loved his special ski suit, find the finest one could make. But still he stopped by Tailor Hall for garments he could take. Oh Majesty, cried Mr. Hall, I've something you must see. A cloth from secret weavers looms, a wonder you'll agree. It's magical, divine, and one a marvel to behold. You've never seen its like before, its threads of finest gold. The king yelled, I'll take every yard, but Tailor bowed his head. This magic cloth will keep you warm, no need for underthread. No matter how the north wind blows, you'll never feel the cold. His cloth that warms like molten gold, a wonder to behold. The king replied, if that is so, I'll take his ski suit too. I'll have it made no matter cost, it's perfect just for you. And see this cloth you speak about, the king said with a frown. The tailor grinned, held empty hands and gazed up and down. So he said, it's here, right here, the cloth for you to wear. The king said, where? I see no cloth, don't be an ass, I swear. Ah, the tailor said, forgive me, sir, there's one thing to disclose. This cloth is quite invisible to fools and simple souls. But you, dear king, are wise and grand, and so to you it shows. The king, not wanting to appear a royal simpleton, said, yes, yes, I see it now, the suit, let's have it done. The tailor's empty hands displayed what only wise men see, and all the courtiers standing by shout, it is clear to me. The brainy men in on the joke were laughing up their sleeves, while clever Mr. Hall prepared the king for his decease. Strip naked, sire, the tailor said, the suit will warm you well. No need for pants or underwear, you'll feel like you're in hell. The king complied and stripped right down, and stood there stark and bare, while Mr. Hall made motions grand, pretending clothes were there. The tailor waved his arms about, now slip your arm in here, and now I'll zip you up right there, it's comfy, never fear. Oh, while this madness carried on, the heating was turned high, and though the king stood bare as bone, he felt like he might fry. I'm roasting, cried the foolish king, the suit's a marvel true. He strutted in his new attire, his brainy men all crew. The queen passed by with ladies fair, they gasped in sheer dismay. The king was naked as a jay, no fig leaf in the way. But still the crazy monarch yelled, behold my royal clothes. These garments keep me toasty warm through any wind that blows. Some ladies giggled, some turned red, but others couldn't help but sneak a peek at royal treasures, giggling to themselves. The queen, though used to such displays, fled quickly from the scene, while the king invited all to ski with him with a routine. The ladies blushing shook their heads, refusing his request, and off the crazy king did go, no jacket, pants or vest. He skied into the freezing snow as naked as could be, but half an hour later froze, a solid sight to see. The nation cried, the king is dead, he lies beneath the snow. And so the kingdom was at peace, no madman left to show. The ladies blushing shook their heads, refusing his request, and off the crazy king did go, no jacket, pants or vest. He skied into the freezing snow as naked as could be, but half an hour later froze, a solid sight to see. The nation cried, the king is dead, he lies beneath the snow. And so the kingdom was at peace, no madman left to show. The ladies blushing shook their heads, refusing his request, and off the crazy king did go, no jacket, pants or vest. He skied into the freezing snow as naked as could be, but half an hour later froze, a solid sight to see. The nation cried, the king is dead. He lies beneath the snow. And so the kingdom was at peace.
In this captivating exploration of the Emperor's New Clothes, we dive into Hans Christian Andersen's timeless tale that reveals the absurdity of vanity and deception in society. Discover how a proud ruler, blinded by his obsession with fashion, becomes the unwitting victim of two clever swindlers, leading an entire kingdom to believe in an illusion. As we unravel the moral lessons woven into this classic fable, you'll see how the story challenges our perceptions of identity and truth, reminding us that sometimes the most honest voices come from the youngest minds. Join us as we uncover the deeper meanings behind this beloved children's story and its relevance in today's world. The Emperor's New Clothes. Many years ago, there was an emperor who was so fond of new clothes that he spent all his money on them. He cared nothing about his soldiers, nor for the theater, nor for driving in the woods, except for the sake of showing off his new clothes. He had a costume for every hour in the day, and instead of saying, as one does about any other king or emperor, he is in his council chamber, here one always said, the emperor is in his dressing room. Life was very gay in the great town where he lived. Hosts of strangers came to visit it every day, and among them one day 2 swindlers. They gave themselves out as weavers and said that they knew how to weave the most beautiful stuffs imaginable. Not only were the colors and patterns unusually fine, but the clothes that were made of the stuffs had the peculiar quality of becoming invisible to every person who was not fit for the office he held. Or if he was impossibly dull, those must be splendid clothes, thought the emperor. By wearing them, I should be able to discover which men in my kingdom are unfitted for their posts. I shall distinguish the wise men from the fools. Yes, I certainly must order some of that stuff to be woven for me. He paid the 2 swindlers a lot of money in advance so that they might begin their work at once. They did put up 2 looms and pretended to weave, but they had nothing whatever upon their shuttles. At the outset, they asked for a quantity of the finest silk and the purest gold thread, all of which they put into their own bags, while they worked away at the empty looms far into the night. I should like to know how those weavers are getting on with the stuff, thought the emperor, but he felt a little queer when he reflected that anyone who was stupid or unfit for his post would not be able to see it. He certainly thought that he need have no fears for himself, but still he thought he would send somebody else first to see how it was getting on. Everybody in the town knew what wonderful power the stuff possessed, and everyone was anxious to see how stupid his neighbor was. I will send my faithful old minister to the weavers, thought the emperor. He will be best able to see how the stuff looks, for he is a clever man, and no one fulfills his duties better than he does. So the good old minister went into the room where the 2 swindlers sat working at the empty loom. Heaven preserve us, thought the old minister, opening. Why, I can't see a thing. But he took his eyes very wide. Care not to say so. Both the swindlers begged him to be good enough to step a little nearer, and asked if he did not think it a good pattern and beautiful coloring. They pointed to the empty loom, and the poor old minister stared as hard as he could, but he could not see anything, for of course there was nothing to see. Good heavens, thought he, is it possible that I am a fool? I have never thought so, and nobody must know it. Am I not fit? My post? It will never do to say that I cannot see the stuffs. For, well, sir, you don't say anything about the stuff, said the one who was pretending to weave. Oh, it is beautiful. Quite charming, Elle, said the old minister, looking through his spectacles. This pattern and these colors. I will certainly tell the emperor that the stuff pleases me very much. We are delighted to hear you say so, said the swindlers, and then they named all the colors and described the peculiar pattern. The old minister paid great attention to what they said so as to be able to repeat it when he got home to the emperor. Then the swindlers went on to demand more money, more silk and more gold to be able to proceed with the weaving, but they put it all into their own pockets. Not a single strand was ever put into the loom, but they went on as before weaving at the empty loom. The emperor soon sent another faithful official to see how the stuff was getting on and if it would soon be ready. The same thing happened to him as to the minister. He looked and looked, but as there was only the empty loom, he could see nothing at all. "Is not this a beautiful piece of stuff?" said both the swindlers, showing and explaining the beautiful pattern and colors which were not there to be seen. "I know I'm not a fool," thought the man, "so it must be that I am unfit for my good post. It is very strange, though. However, one must not let it appear low." So he praised the stuff he did not see and assured them of his delight in the beautiful colors and the originality of the design. "It is absolutely charming," he said to the emperor. Everybody in the town was talking about this splendid stuff. Now the emperor thought he would like to see it while it was still on the loom. So, accompanied by a number of selected courtiers, among whom were the two faithful officials who had already seen the imaginary stuff, he went to visit the crafty impostors, who were working away as hard as ever they could at the empty loom. "It is magnificent," said both the honest officials. "Only see, Your Majesty, what a design, what colors!" And they pointed to the empty loom, for they thought no doubt the others could see the stuff. "What," thought the emperor, "I see nothing at all. This is terrible. Am I a fool? Am I not fit to be emperor? Why, nothing worse could happen to me." "Oh, it is beautiful," said the emperor. "It has my highest approval," and he nodded his satisfaction as he gazed at the empty loom. Nothing would induce him to say that he could not see anything. The whole suite gazed and gazed, but saw nothing more than all the others. However, they all exclaimed with His Majesty, "It very beautiful," and they advised him to wear a suit made of this wonderful cloth on the occasion of a great procession which was just about to take place. "It is magnificent, gorgeous, excellent," went from mouth to mouth. They were all equally delighted with it. The emperor gave each of the rogues an order of knighthood to be worn in their buttonholes, and the title of gentlemen weavers. The swindlers sat up the whole night before the day on which the procession was to take place, burning 16 candles, so that people might see how anxious they were to get the emperor's new clothes ready. They pretended to take the stuff off the loom. They cut it out in the air with a huge pair of scissors, and they stitched away with needles without any thread in them. At last they said, "Now the emperor's new clothes are ready." The emperor, with his grandest courtiers, went to them himself, and both the swindlers raised one arm in the air as if they were holding something, and said, "See, these are the trousers, this is the coat, here is the mantle," and so on. It is as light as a spider's web. One might think one had nothing on, but that is the very beauty of it. "Yes," said all the courtiers, but they could not see anything, for there was nothing to see. "Will your Imperial Majesty be graciously pleased to take off your clothes," said the impostors, "so that we may put on the new ones along here before the great mirror?" The emperor took off all his clothes, and the impostors pretended to give him one article of dress after the other of the new ones which they had pretended to make. They pretended to fasten something round his waist and to tie on something. This was the train, and the emperor turned round and round in front of the mirror. "How well His Majesty looks in the new clothes! How becoming they are!" cried all the people round. "What a design and what colors! They are most gorgeous robes. The canopy is waiting outside, which is to be carried over your Majesty in the procession," said the master of the ceremonies. "Well, I am quite ready," said the emperor. "Don't the clothes fit well?" And then he turned round again in front of the mirror, so that he should seem to be looking at his grand things. The chamberlains who were to carry the train stooped and pretended to lift it from the ground with both hands, and they walked along with their hands in the air. They dared not let it appear that they could not see anything. Then the emperor walked along in the procession under the gorgeous canopy, and everybody in the streets and at the windows exclaimed, "How beautiful the emperor's new clothes are!" "What, a splendid train, and they fit to perfection low body would. Let it appear that he could see nothing, for then he would not be fit for his post, or else he was a fool. None of the emperor's clothes had been so successful before. But he has got nothing on, said a little child. Oh, listen to the innocent, said his father, and one person whispered to the other what the child had said. He has nothing on. A child says he has nothing on. But he has nothing on, little lass, cried all the people. The emperor writhed, for he knew it was true, but he thought the procession must go on now, so held himself stiffer than ever, and the chamberlains held up the invisible train.